If we were meeting here 3 years from today, what has to have happened, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy and proud of your progress? What does your business look like? What does your personal life look like? How do you feel about sharing?
Just a minute, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm in that startup phase in the healthcare AI linked medical device. So for me, 3 years from now, the what I'd be proud of if I can achieve that is impact on the number of patients. So I'm working on Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So my target is if I can positively impact the diagnosis of about 300 million patients. Linked to that, obviously, will be the exit. Coming with that will be more time for charity and volunteer work. So I do a fair bit of that. The moment I feel as if I'm doing more lip service as opposed to actually getting involved. So I pay $100 to World Vision. I think I'm doing them a favor, kind of thing. I sponsor 2 kids and then freedom and lifestyle. So I try to define freedom not just in terms of dollars, but also in terms of health issues. I relate very well to nature, traveling to stunningly beautiful spots, whether it's mountains or beaches and things like that. On the relationship side, and on the dollar side is not just to have a comfortable life, but more than enough to exponentially expand the charity. I won't call it charity, more the volunteer work that I would either like to get involved directly or indirectly. And the reason I say that is that I've had experiences in the past where people in the charity side may not be doing the right thing by the customers, and especially in some parts of Asia and Africa. Hence, I said getting involved directly, indirectly, to the extent I can do that.
I appreciate that. Hitesh, I don't know if I ever told you I've got 2 adopted Ethiopian children.
That's great.
Every bit that we do, it makes a huge impact. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just talk about where what we've done. So I've taken you through the concept of your 3-year personal and business vision. I've taken you through how do you identify the 3 to 5 key winning moves. Never more than 5, guys. Never more than 5. The 3 to 5 winning moves, internal and external, that can transform your business over the next 3 years. From there, I've asked you to write a short statement. What is your vision for the next 3 years, which is what we've just done. The next issue is how do we, picking up Simone's point, how do we translate that into the minds of our team? And the way we do this is through a concept called a 3-year leader's intent. This goes back to my army days and how do you translate a vision from a general down to a platoon commander or a tank troop leader. I'll give you an exact example of this from my military experience. So in the first Gulf War, General Schwarzkopf was given the task of clearing the Iranians out of Kuwait. But he was limited by his political superiors that he couldn't cross the border into into Iraq. So his leader's intent was we're going to destroy, kill as many Iraqi assets as we can in Kuwait, and we're going to force them out of Kuwait and give Kuwait back to the people. That was the leader's intent. Okay, objective goal, the purpose why we were the objective, remove the Iraqi military out of Kuwait and inflict as much damage and destruction on them as we can. Purpose why? To free Kuwait for the people. End state, in my case, in 3 years, but the end state was get the Iraqis out. Now, in a past life, I was in the Army Reserve and I was a squadron commander of an armored reconnaissance regiment. And I was doing my regimental commander's course at Puckapunyal, the armored center at Puckapunyal. And they had a permanent American colonel, armored colonel, their instructor. And this fellow at the time of the First Gulf War, he was the executive officer of a tank regiment, tank battalion in the First Infantry Division, U.S. First Infantry Division, called the Big Red One. They were the breaching regiment. The plan was to breach the Iraqi defenses and turn left and stop because they expected to have 60% casualties. As it turned out, The plan went so well that they got through the breach with 5% casualties. And so the next question was, what do we do now? Now, that could have gone up through radio networks and up and down, etc., except that General Schwarzkopf had given a leader's intent. So the commanding officer of this tank battalion turned left and went for the border. And I don't know if you remember, most of you are probably too young, but there was an extraordinary scene of the Iraqis trying to cross the border, and they were destroyed 800 vehicles. The battalion that caught them was, in fact, this battalion that I'm talking about, because the leader's intent, they knew exactly what they needed to do. So if we think about our 3-year vivid vision, with the winning moves, with a short statement, our next goal is to come up with a leader's intent. This is the North Star. This is the North Star for your people, so that if they ever have any questions, they know exactly where they're going. They know exactly where they're going in terms of revenue, how much will we be doing in sales is our target, our profit margin, what will we be bringing to the bottom line, our customers, clients, and team size, what will the business look like? As an example, by 31 March 2027, we will be generating $25 million revenue at 22% margin by serving 1,000 plus high-value clients.